Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I have my Anbernic RG406V. Got it yesterday. I spent yesterday playing around with it, setting it up, doing a bunch of different things with it. Let's have a quick look around the box. It's got the silver inlay, nothing much. It's your regular Anbernic box. I got the transparent black. Okay. This is really thick protection. Let's just take the device out of here. Okay, so in the box, we have our charging cable. We have the 256 gigabyte card. Can I get that into focus? Right there. Biggest card it has. We have our wipes. Our screen, which I'll put on, and then the instruction book for shows you how to get in and out of games and stuff like that. If you've never really had one of these before, you might just want to give it a quick read. It will be handy. So that's what comes in the box there. So now we'll take a look at the device. Okay, so I got the transparent black, as we can see here. It also comes in gray and white, beige white. But I figured the black would be, I haven't got many, I think I've got 3 black ones. I usually get all different colors. So let's just have a quick walk around. The joysticks are actually really nice, and they do, as you can see, have the RGBs on them. I think they're sticking up a little more than say the RG405V. I think you can how can I, if I do it like this, you can see that these ones here on the 405V are a little more in than the 406V. So I don't know, that might hurt for pocketability. They are clicky. You got your home and back button, your start and select, your D-pad, which is your basic Anbernic D-pad. The color buttons are, you know, a little rattly, but the front looks good. The screen is a good size. You got your black bezel around the outside, which never really bothers me much. On the top, we have our exhaust for our active cooling and our recharge, and our you can also hook that to a TV through you'll need a converter or a USB-C, plug that in with an HDMI box on it. You have your on the side we have our volume and our power. On the other side we have our card slot and our front end button to get into the games. On the back we have L1, L2, R1, R2, which they seem okay for me. We have our fan, and then we have our Anbernic sign that we always have, RG406V, battery 5 volt 10 watts, 3.8 volts 5500 milliohm battery, LiPo. And then on the bottom we have our 2 downward firing speakers and our headphone jack. So that's our little walk around. We'll turn it on and go on from there. Okay, so before I turn it on, I'm just gonna stick in the 256 gigabyte card. Upside down as usual. Hey, let's turn it on and see how long it takes to power up. Okay, so that didn't take too long. That's getting quicker. So I've already got, you can say I've already got my internet set up and it's mostly charged. Oops. We'll get out of that, because that's where I was last. Okay, so it's mostly charged up. You can see, and you can see that I've got some stuff. I've been messing around with a bunch of stuff. I've got some, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. This, most of this I all loaded in from the store. These are all of your emulators, your standalone emulators. As you can see, I've been messing around a bit. And then this is the rest. You have your front end over the air update there. Your guides, stuff like that. So right off the bat, what I want to do is I'm going to drag down this menu from the top. We have our internet, our Bluetooth, our auto rotate, our night dark, our RG launcher, key mapper, which is the same as the key mapper that's been on all of them. The CPU high or off. If you're going to be playing your higher PS2 games, stuff like that, Switch, Wii, N64, GameCube, you'll probably want to flip that on. Your fan, I always leave it on auto, but if I am playing a game that's really hard, I will switch it to strong. These are for the lights, the ambient lights. I have it on chasing, so you can see it turns blue, but you have your lights on. Your breathing, I'll just breathe in and out, like it'll get lighter and darker. Rainbow, it'll change color through the rainbow. Marquee, kind of got them all. Chasing, again, that's what I did. And game does something I'm really not sure. But I will chit that back. I always leave mine on chasing. I think that's kind of cool. You have your modes. Right now it's set to your DS basically, or your Switch. If you switch it over to Xbox, when you turn it on and off again, it will be switched over to here. I just always leave it on there. I find it easier not to worry about it. Just learn to change the buttons. But if you want to change it, you can. Do not disturb, plane mode, screen capture, and start record, so screen recording. Okay, so that's what's in the top down menu. And of course I already showed this. I've already downloaded my mail, my YouTube. Play Store was already on here, files was already on here, photos were already on here, settings was already on here. The emulation station I downloaded and I set up. We'll get into that later. Horizon Chase and Diablo Immortal, TMNT, Shredder's Revenge. I already showed these are all right out of the box. Of course, you can go on and you can get other ones. And then your RetroArch, your Moonlight Streaming, and then your Daijijo, giving it a fair shake. And then you have your sound recording, your FM radio, your calculator, your clock, another calculator, your over-the-air update, your music, your gamepad. Just tests all the buttons to make sure they work. And then your guide, which has your device registration, your RG launcher, and your key mapping instructions. Key mapping instructions, complicated. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to show when it comes to the software part of this. This is the first Anbernic device that I've ever got where one of the sticks wasn't centered. This one, the right stick, when I put it onto, you see how it's chasing? It was always blue over here. Okay, and when I was playing, it took me a while, because when you're on marquee, which is what it has when it comes out of the box, all the colors are lit, and I just assumed something was wrong. But when I changed it to chasing, this was off, and then this one was always just a little blue. So if you go into you drag down from the top, you go into your settings, you go down here, and I see you just whip through and you miss it. But if you look, See, I missed it again. Right here, handheld games console settings. Okay, so you go in there, and then you have your joystick calibration. And in here you can calibrate your joysticks. And this one was just always over there like that. It never quite centered. So I just went through the calibration and it's been fine. Okay, so also if you look in here, we have joystick, we have a key tester, which is what we were on, right? We have your quick launcher, and then you have your fan configurations. And then this is where you can really get in depth with the light, your brightness of your, this is your RGBs around the joysticks. Okay, so that's where all of that is, and that was I've never really messed around with it that much, but if your joysticks aren't quite right, that is where I went in to fix all of that. So let's go back now, and there is two ways to do the launcher, two ways to launch into the Anbernic front end. You can drag down here, and you can go into it here, and then you just back out of it, and you're in it, okay? Or, to get out of it, you just press the button on the side. Now that's also our next way in. Button on the side, right here. You just press it when you're on your Android, and you go right into it. Okay, we've seen this in the last all the 405s. So we've got Nintendo, we've got, I've got the big card, the 256 gigabyte card. So we have Nintendo NES, 600 games, Sega Master System, 197, PC Engine, 290, Capcom 1 always has 61, Sega Genesis, 633, Game Boy, 900, SNK Neo Geo, 140. This is just Nintendo. Super Famicom, 1000. Capcom 2 has 29. PlayStation has 62. Sega has 6. Nintendo 64 has 16. Capcom 3 has 4. MAME 1366. That's where I like to play. I like to play a lot of the arcade games, so that's mine where I am. Game Boy Color 550. Dreamcast 85, Neo Geo Pocket 37, Sega Naomi 7, Bandai Wonder Swan has 66, PlayStation 2 has 32. PlayStation 2 is where I was messing around in PlayStation 2. I was playing God of War yesterday, and that's when I noticed the controller was a little weird. It always ran it off into the right corner. It side rolled him off into the right corner, and I wasn't sure what was going on, but I eventually did figure that out. Final Burn Alpha has 1000. Vertical Arcade has 200. Vertical Arcade, Final Burn, and MAME are basically all arcade games. Okay, that's where this is going to be mainly arcade games. You know, Capcom 1, Capcom 2, Capcom 3. You're going to see a lot of arcade games in there too. But vertical games, you're going to have all your shmups and anything that you play vertically. Game Boy Advanced 500, Thomas Wave 6, PSP 50, NDS, or DS, sorry, 25, Wii 5, 3DS 33, and Pico 8. I will never show any of the Nintendo stuff on this channel, and if I do, it'll be muted. I will just stick with other stuff that doesn't get me into trouble. Okay, so that's what comes on the 256 gigabyte card. Okay, so that's the two ways to get into the front end, and it's the same front end either way. Okay, but there, if you hit your select button, you have this neat little toolbar that comes up. You go down to settings, and then you have these options. So you go into themes. Let me just zoom in on the screen here. No? Okay, we'll just zoom back out. Okay, so you press your themes, and then you have the default, which we're on. Then you have theme 1, and you just confirm it, and it just changes it. And that's the theme right there. Okay? Then you just go back in, and if you want to change it, you just change it. These are the themes that you're going to get. This one is more like you find on the 40XX and the 35XX type series. Just shows your consoles. Okay. Me, I am, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to leave it on that one. No, it's I'm showing games and systems, so I will just stay to the default. Okay, so those are the themes, the software, the walkabout. Not sure if that was quick or not, but watch your joysticks when you get it. If you go in, change it to chasing, and see, that's the best thing. Or obviously smarter than me, just go in and recalibrate. Okay, let's get some games going. I'll probably play obviously some of the higher systems, PS2, Dreamcast, PSP, and then I'll play some of the 3 Android games that I have, and then I'll come back and wrap it up with my final thoughts. Okay, so I played some games. I played some Dreamcast, some PSP, some PS2. Then I played the three Android games that I have. They're probably not demanding Android games other than Diablo Immortal. So I played Dreamcast. I played Capcom vs. SNK 2 Million and Daytona. Of course, they played awesome. Both of them, no problem. PSP, God of War, Ghost of Sparta, and Tekken 6. Played very well, no problem. PS2, I had a little bit of grief, but I think that's just things that aren't set up properly. They played good. The sound was hard, messed up, but I did play God of War 2 and Tekken Tag Tournament, and I found those games to be hard, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to find the hardest games to possibly play that I could. So PS2 is going to be just like the 556 and the Cube. It's going to be hit and miss. Play what you can, find it. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, of course, played perfect because I played that. I sideloaded that all the way back on the 503. Now, there are two ways to get TMNT Shredder's Revenge. You can buy it from the Steam store, or anywhere you can buy it that way. You do have to buy it that way. If you go this way and download it and then sideload it in as a port on the ports. Or what I found is always easier on all of these handhelds that have access to the store. You just go onto the Google Play Store, search up TMNT Shredder's Revenge. It's right there. You download it. All you need is a Netflix account. If you have a Netflix account login, it'll ask you to log in, and then you get the game, and it's done. No side loading, no nothing. It plays, everything's set up. You don't have to key map it. You don't have to do anything. It just plays really well. And then a new one for me is Horizon Chase. Something different. The colors are very vivid on it, and it looks really good, plays good. Again, with this one, you have to set up the keys with the key mapping, and the key mapping I have showed on previous videos. Once you figure it out, it's pretty easy just to drag the control over the on-screen, hit save, and then that's that. It's not a matter of hitting it and then hitting a button. You just, once you get the buttons on screen, you just drag it and drop it over the on-screen buttons. And it works like that. Once I had the key mapper done, it worked fine. Diablo Immortal, again, it played really nice. The cutscenes were nice. The gameplay was nice. It looked really good. But there's lots of buttons on Diablo Immortal. And so you will be key mapping, and you'll probably drive yourself crazy with the key mapper. But once you get it set, it will be fine and play good. Just like Genshin Impact, I have no worries at Genshin Impact or any of the Ghost Protocols or whatever, all the first-person shooter games that you play on your phones and off the Play Store will work. You're just gonna have to get really good with the Google Play Map with the key map. Okay, so I'll just come back and I'll give you some final thoughts total on what I think of the RG406V. Okay, so the Anbernic RG406V. It has the same chipset as everything's the same as which in the 556. This has 8 gigs of memory. This has 8 gigs of memory. It's all the same, different aspects, 16:9, different sticks, different buttons. Okay, and then you have the Cube. Again, 8 megs of memory, everything's the same except you get your 1:1 screen. It's a different screen ratio, okay? But it's all the same. This is in what they call the vertical form factor. The other two are horizontal. We have the 405V, which has the Unisoc T816 chip with only 4 gigs of memory in it. And then we have this one here, which is the Anbernic RG406V, which has the Unisoc T820, just like the 556 and the Cube. This has different sticks, though, and I like the sticks. I really don't pay much attention to the sticks. I don't like how they're sticking out as much. Like even if you take the Cube, which has the RGB sticks, they just don't stick out as far. So, one beef with me is those sticks are sticking out way too far for me. What I've done is I've played everything on the Anbernic front end that comes with the unit, right? Okay, so let's just get into the Anbernic front end here. Okay, so this Anbernic front end, we've seen it on all of the Unisoc chips. Okay, the 405s, the 556s, the cubes. We've seen it on all of them. Okay, it works really well. It's very simple. I showed the themes. It works really good. This out of the box is everything I've showed today. But out of the box is great for, you know, I don't know, 50-60% of the people. When it comes to ones that are better than this, I would say you should try to start learning how to work inside all these emulators. It makes everything a lot easier, and games play a lot better. With this one, I've taken a different tack. I am not going to be going stock. What I am doing is I am doing the ESDE, the Emulation Station desktop version. There is lots of tutorials online about how to get it going. It is very simple. It is a very nice front end. It does a lot for you. It's very clean. You can run even all of your Android apps and everything through it. That's what I'm setting this one up as. I'm not going to keep, and now that's not, it's still stock. I'm just using a different front end. Instead of using that, I will be using my, the card's not in, so it won't even start, a different loader, and that's where I'll load everything through. And then you start learning how to do all of the standalone emulators, and believe me, it makes a big difference. Now, I know this is the final thoughts on open box and stuff like that, but and I'm probably rambling. Out of box, ready to go. This is going to play. The sticks are really nice, don't get me wrong. The sticks are nicer than the Cube and the 556. The difference between the two is just going to be vertical, 1x1 or 19 by 16 by 19. It's all going to come down to personal preference with this. If you like the vertical, you like the wide, or you like the 1x1 screen. They all play the same, different sticks, lots of different examples, and if you get used to setting up your own front end, everything works a little better. Now, I don't go online and download ROMs. I don't find ROMs. I don't do all that. I only use the ROMs that are on my card. Now, what I found is when I'm scraping for Emulation Station, it actually finds them all. You're going through and you're finding there's weird names, abbreviations and stuff in the front end here. Like, the best one to show is MAME. You go into MAME and you go down enough here and it starts just this weird names, okay? You can't scrape those without going in and figuring them all out. But ESDE Emulation Station Desktop Edition does actually scrape them all. Out of the 1300, it only didn't scrape 900 games, and that's not with the screen scraper, that's with the other one that's down below. So that's, you can do it all. And I think it's worth it with this or any other right now. Again, out of the box, good to go. It's a great handheld right out of the box to play everything that comes with. Okay, to play to do your YouTube, to do your Chrome, to do your mail, to do your photos, to do your games, to do your Android games, to do everything. It is really good that way. Okay, it's all going to come down to what you want for. These are the three that all have the T820. They all have 8 gigs. It's all going to come down to your form, what you want. You want your vertical, you want your 1x1 vertical, or you want your 16x9, okay? It's going to come down to personal preference. They're all really nice. The sticks are good, but I don't think the sticks are a big enough selling feature to stop me from playing my 556 or my Cube. Okay? It is it's definitely up there. It's definitely worth getting if you like the vertical handhelds. This is the one. If you want vertical and you want Anbernic's top, this is the one you want to get. But if you like horizontal, 556, it's identical, or the Cube. Okay, I've rambled a lot. Hopefully there was something there useful. I do like this. I am going to be playing with it a lot over the next week just to get into it and get used to it. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.